introducing a very dear and close friend, Rabbi Arye Linker from Beit Vegan, Jerusalem. Rav, you have a very amazing, interesting story. It would be wonderful if you could share it with our listeners out there. A true story. Sometimes they say something that's true it's greater than fiction.
Yes. This is the true story of how my parents escaped from the Holocaust, from the Shoah, about 40 years ago. My mother was daughter of a well-to-do diamond dealer in Antwerp. My father was a furrier, young businessman in Antwerp, in Austria, in Vienna. He was Austrian, she was Belgian. My father witnessed the Anschluss. Anschluss is the time when Hitler walked into Austria, because they were like the mother culture, and the Austrians received Hitler with great warmth, of course, well known. And my father saw that nothing happened to him, and but he saw this is not a joke and very serious, and he left within a week from Austria, went to Brussels and set up a fur business there. He went on a little holiday and met my mother in the famous kosher restaurant in Nice, where that was a place of vacation, well known for its beauty there. And he married my mother in 1938 or 1939, I'm not sure. They set up house in Brussels, and on May 1st or May 10th, 1941, I think it is, Hitler marched in after coming through Czechoslovakia and Poland. The next place where he conquered was the Netherlands, Holland, and then Belgium, France, and that was the path of Hitler. The day Hitler came to Holland, Holland and Belgium are very close, a matter of hours, and they had no resistance whatsoever in Holland.
Yeah.
The Dutch just let them go through, and my father was afraid of that exactly. He called up my grandfather, and he said, he was living in Brussels, which is a half hour from Antwerp. He says, Father, we're leaving today. We're leaving today. So my grandfather thought he was crazy. He says, Mark, what are you, crazy? What, we're leaving? Nothing's going to happen here. Everything's going to be fine. It's just a momentary historical problem, but nothing's going to happen. Pa, we're leaving today. Get yourselves together. Get all the uncles and aunts. Get your diamonds together. We're leaving today.
They were diamond merchants?
Big diamond dealers, one of the first diamond dealers in Antwerp. So he finally convinced them, and they took about 3-4 of those big black cars, like you have the cabs, the taxis in London. It was hard to get, but they had money, and it was hard to get fuel, petrol. They got petrol also, and they all crammed into, and they took the diamonds. Diamonds, that's a good thing about diamonds. You can put it in on your purse, and they hid it in the brassieres of the women. All the women had the diamonds on them, and they proceeded towards France. On the way, the Germans had already begun to bomb all the refugees who were running away from Brussels, they saw the situation. They also were running away from Belgium because they were afraid of the Nazis. And my parents were in the car, a few people had cars, and they spent about 3 or 4 weeks in France, going from one place to the other. And as Hitler progressed southwards, my parents moved always one step. My father was very smart, always 1 step or 2 steps before Hitler to precede him.
It's amazing he had the insight.
He had tremendous insight. He saved the whole family. Those who didn't leave those who didn't leave Belgium were all taken to Auschwitz. All died. So they went to France. They ran away to France, and from France, eventually they landed in Portugal, in Lisbon. Upon arriving in Lisbon, they locked up my father. They imprisoned him because he was an enemy alien. He was on the wrong side of the game. He was an Austrian. And my grandfather was a well-to-do diamond dealer. He took out $10,000, which is today a lot of money, put it under the table for the judge. The judge let him go. The next morning, they were on the last boat from Portugal, Lisbon, to New York. And after that, it wasn't possible, very, very difficult to get away from Europe, because the Germans began to bombard each boat with the U-boats. The U-boats were very, very active at that time. They came to New York, they set up a business there, and they prospered there on 47th Street in New York, and then I was born in 1946. Just a funny, ironic anecdote to that story is that my eldest son's in-laws' parents were on the same boat.
Really?
They came from Poland, and they were waiting in Lisbon to get on a boat also. We looked at the manifest, you can see it on the internet today. They were on the same boat as my parents and grandparents.
Wow.
And they arrived in New York, and they went to Brooklyn. My parents went to America.
So I'll just tell you, Rav, I was in Lisbon in the shul, and Portugal, it was one of the only few countries that actually Dafka allowed Yidden to come into the country.
Correct.
The community had to sign guarantees, but
Sure.
the Portuguese were actually quite good to the Yidden during the Shah.
Everybody came there.
Yeah, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe, he also left from Lisbon to go to America.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's actually quite amazing. But what a story!
That's the story.
To think that your father had the
Insight.
to see what was going to happen, and
So
he took the action.
he forced them to go. My
It couldn't have been easy.
My grandfather, they were settled, had a beautiful life there in Antwerp. You understand? You know, like someone tells you to leave Johannesburg. It's unbelievable. So he had to force them, and thank God he did.
And he saved the family.
He saved the whole family, practically.
Baruch Hashem, that's amazing.
You know.
Rav, it's been a great honor and a privilege,
My
and
privilege.
I thank you.
My pleasure, my privilege.
And what a story, and what an inspiration, and what a musa, what a lesson for.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do your
One step ahead,
you have to do what you
course.
think is the right thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And thank God the family listened to him.
Thank God. Baruch Hashem.
Thank you very much, Rav.
My
All the
pleasure.
best.
My pleasure.